Hey Minecrafters, Nick here with episode 8 in my Minecraft World Tour. Today I am looking around my world because I just recently updated to the version 1.13, the aquatic update. And I have noticed a number of things that have changed and caused some issues and some problems. The first issue that I had was a lot of the hoppers that I have in my little sort of automatic sorting system here, which just lets you, fill up all these chests with items that are automatically generated. I noticed that I was not getting things. One of the main things that I wasn't getting was redstone. And I did notice that redstone was coming up the elevator, and as you can see here, the elevator's been changed over to a water-based elevator. It's a lot slower, but it looks nice. I mean, aside from the sort of dirty color of the water there. But what I wanted to sort of get at is that if you have sorting systems in your world and you've upgraded from 112 to 113, check all your hoppers, check all of your sorting systems, because I had a number of problems here. I had to go and sort of check all these hoppers, empty items out, put items back in. I had to remove the comparators or comparators, however you want to say it, and put them back to get everything flowing through properly. And I think it's all good now. I think everything is working the way that it should now. But when I first finished, I did the edit to the world and I said optimize world. I went through all of the chunks and got them upgraded, and yet I still had issues. Now, one of the other problems that I've found that I think is going to really trip people up, because it did trip me up. Let's just grab some hoppers here. I have some hoppers with me. But if... what's a good way to show this off? If I put this down here, and I put a hopper in front of it that way, that's probably not the best way to do it, is it? Let's do it with the ender chest. Boop. Get rid of that. Put down the ender chest here. Now, it used to be that hoppers had a hitbox that would not allow you to touch the ender chest back there. But you can see now, right in the corners where there is no little hopper bits, you can get at that ender chest. So if you've made yourself an item elevator where items are coming up through, let's just say glass, because glass is nice to make elevators with. If you had at the very top of that glass item elevator, if you had a hopper that was right here that you expected things to get picked up with, they won't necessarily get picked up because of that little hitbox change. Now there's room underneath the hopper where items can just land. So if something came directly up the middle, I would imagine that it would go through into the hopper. But if it doesn't, it won't. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody? I noticed that one because my super smelter down here was not delivering items, and I thought, well, why am I not getting items? And what I used to do is I used to have hoppers facing in just like this, and I guess I could kind of show this off. Maybe I can show you exactly what's going on. Let's just put. I've got one raw salmon with me. Well, raw salmon's good. I should have some more raw salmon down here. Let me see if I can find some in my fishing hut output. This is where we output things. Okay, so we've got 11 raw cod and now 6 raw salmon. Now, if I do this, the way that this used to work was that things would come up through the glass and they would go straight into those hoppers. I used to have a line of hoppers here, and just to make this the exact same as it used to be, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the hoppers right here. I still have some hoppers. Let's just do this. I'm sorry for wasting time here, guys, but I think this is a really important issue that might catch people up, and I haven't heard anybody else talking about it. So, just so you know. All right, so we're going to put in our 11 raw cod and 6 salmon. Okay, now it's going to take a second or two for the super smelter down below to crank those items up here, and I'm just going to dig into the wall a little bit so I can stand back and you can see. Because when these things start to come up, you'll see the 4 dispensers or the 4 droppers there that will eventually fire these things up when the super smelter's done with them. There they come. And, well, that seems like it's going okay. That seems like it's going okay. Make a ladder. Oh, no, there you go. You can see something bouncing around there. If I go down a little bit and down a little bit more, Well, now they appear. No, there we go. There we go. You see how all of those items are stuck underneath the hopper? They used to go straight up and into the hopper, and now they don't. So if you have item elevators where you've got hoppers on the very top, just be aware that that can cause you some issues. So there's a number of issues that I've found. One of the most interesting to me, so I'm going to have to change this, because you see, if I break out this glass here, what have we got? We got, let's just try to organize this a bit. I've got 7 of my cooked cod right there, just for my regular food. And if I hop down here, what do we get? We get, well, so we went from 7 to 12, that's 5, and we've got 3 of the cooked salmon. Now that should mean, what? We should have 6 extra cod in here. And how many salmon do we have? We had 6, yeah. Yeah, it's a little hard to say because of some of that. But yeah, just so you know, things have changed when it comes to the hitbox of hoppers has changed, and that may cause you some trouble in your world. I know it has for me. Now, the next big issue that was a real surprise to me, I know that in the pre-release 9 and pre-release 10 for 1.13, there was some changes to the way that entities worked in water. Now, if I can find a nice big open area here where I can spread some water around without doing too much damage to the world, I guess the best way to do that would just be to dig something here. Let's just dig a bit. And why don't we use a shovel, because that'll be quicker. We'll just zip over here, and that's got to be at least 8. Now, what happens is that entities, including me, if I hop in here and just let the water drag me along, you'll see when we get down to the last 2, we're going to slow down. We're slowing down here. Once we cross this little line, we'll slow down a little bit more. Maybe not there. But yeah, well, you see we've slowed down quite a bit. And when you get right down to the last one, you're really not being pushed terribly hard at all. And it's even been to the point where sometimes you won't get pushed off the edge here. I'm not touching the mouse right now. I'm just letting myself go. And if we're lucky, we'll fall down. And if we're not lucky, we'll just stick right on the edge. And it looks like we're going to go down. Yeah, there we did. Okay, so at least you can see that we did slow down quite a bit there. And another thing that has seems to have changed is that if we had a skeleton or a zombie, what they tended to do is that they would come down here, and just when they started to slow down, they would hop. And they'd hop a little bit more than normal, and they'd start hopping quite a bit in the water. And what that did for me is it made a change to my OP slime farm. And my slime farm, I originally designed so that only the large slime would come up my little elevator. And if you haven't seen that video, it's there. Luckily, I made that video a little while ago, just before 1.13. I know that I would have liked to have done some more videos to show off other things I had before the 1.13 snapshot or the 1.13 release came out, but I didn't get there. So here we are. We're just it is what it is, as people like to say, which I think is a terribly ridiculous expression. I often say it isn't what it isn't, just to sort of show them how silly that is. But let's go over here to the OP Slime Dojo. And you'll notice that there's a lot more slime coming up than there used to be. And I think that's just because of the way that things hop. And what I had to do is I had to lower my water streams by 1 block, because I was getting, the medium slimes would get to the edge of the water and they would hop a lot higher than they used to, and they'd hit those little bits of water that I had that was intended only to bring up the big slime. So if we look down here, yeah, we're starting to get some slime coming. It'll take a little bit of time. Well, maybe it'll take more time than I thought. But okay, here we go. Now you can see the big slime coming up. But I did have to drop my water streams down by 1. And another thing that happened is it seems like through most of my world, all of the water got updated. And oh, geez, look out. Now here you can see how quickly things are coming up now, and in 1.12 things did not, I didn't get this many slimes coming out this quickly, but now it's just outrageous how many slimes come popping up here. I mean, look at that. This is definitely outrageous. I have the little doorbell sound that lets me know when things are coming up, and sometimes there's so many coming up that the doorbell just won't stop going, or sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 slimes coming up in one sort of jump. But I used to call this the OP Slime Farm or Slime Dojo, and now it's the triple OP Slime Dojo, because these slime just come out of here at an incredible rate now, and right now it's nighttime. And nighttime means that there are places around where, you know, not everything is completely lit up as well as it could be necessarily, so there will be, you know, a little bit of the mob cap taken up by skeletons or zombies or maybe creepers that are spawning around. But I don't even know what to say. Just the speed with which these guys come out. You can hear that doorbell going off nearly constantly. It's outrageous now. I don't know what happened there. But something's different in 1.13. Maybe the slimes are a little bit more likely to spawn than they used to be. I can't tell you what happened, but this Slime Dojo, it was always good, but it was never this good. I mean, what have we got now? Looking at, that can't possibly be 45 slimes already, could it? Somewhere 45 slimes, somewhere like that, yeah. There's 46, 47. I'm just looking at the, the fifth line down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the fifth line down with the E colon, it's E50 right now, and you get another doorbell sound, there's E51. So yeah, we've gotten, roughly speaking, 50 slimes in just a few minutes. So something's different. There's definitely some big changes that have happened in Minecraft 1.13, and I'm just trying to, you know, go through my world and see what's different, what works, what doesn't work. This is just outrageous. I can't believe the number. I mean, there's still slime coming up, and you know, this isn't a trick, guys. I'm not using command blocks to make things spawn at an outrageous rate. In fact, what I can do is I can just go over here. This is one of the entrances we have to the spawning chambers down below, and maybe if we stay back a little bit, we might see some of them spawning. Maybe not. It's hard to say. I'm just going to hop over here. When you're close to things, you don't get the same level of spawning, because I don't think anything can spawn within about 24 blocks of the player, but you just saw slime there. I saw one just going down. Yeah, there he is, and he's going to start just kind of randomly hopping around, fall off the edge, because he's too far away to see this iron golem. But yeah, there's lots of slime forming in here. I think there's only 6 or 7 layers, and this is what I'm talking about when I say that I had to drop my water streams down. These water streams here, or this water stream here in the middle, it used to be 1 block higher, and you see how those guys jump when they get to the end? They just jump straight into the water. Ouch. Don't smack me. And it was happening even with the little guys, or the medium-sized guys. They would jump high enough, and see, they don't want to fall off the edge because there's not as much forward pressure as there used to be. Now, I'm not sure whether that's an intended change or something that went wrong. I know that in the pre-release 9, it was a real problem, and in pre-release 10, it had changed a little bit, and you know, the effect of the water pushing was intensified a bit because people complained in 1.9. I think Nenbomb and a few other people sort of complained about it. While I'm down here, this doesn't seem to work as well as when I'm up top, and I guess that's just because some of these guys can see me, or they sense me, they want to come after me. But you can see that these guys, they just don't want to go over the edge of a water stream anymore. They really fight it, and they didn't used to fight it quite so much. So, I mean, this guy can just still come forward and get me. But he can't really get much farther forward than there, because the pressure of the water against him becomes more and more intense the deeper the water is. And I'm not sure whether that's an intended change or not. But anyway, that's what's happening. And I'm just going to try to shoot out of here in a second, because I'd rather be up top than down below. We're falling. Okay, now we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. Sploosh! At least there's water down there, so I didn't take a lot of damage. But that's the slime farm and sort of what happened there. And as I mentioned, the change to the hopper hitbox, that may cause people issues. I know it did for me. I definitely had problems with hoppers that were in my sorting systems. So if you have sorting systems and you've ported your world from 112 to 113, check them over very carefully. Be very, very thorough when you're checking over what's going on, because it's definitely different. It's not the same as it used to be. I'm seeing... Oh, come on. Let me fly. Jump, jump. Woohoo! There we go. Yeah, so just check over your worlds thoroughly, guys. There's definitely some differences. There's some things that are maybe problems. Maybe they'll change it within a day or two, or a week or two. Maybe the guys at Mojang will get their stuff going and put out another little update, because there's definitely some issues. I did not get anywhere near as much redstone. Yeah, see, we're getting redstone now. I'm getting redstone, and I believe the glowstone is coming through. I'm gonna test that. I want to be absolutely sure, because things were not going the way they should. So I'll go down here to the bottom of my base. This is where we have the killing chamber. Oh, and another change, just in case you guys are wondering. I've got a zombie pigman farm that is comprised of just giant portals, and you can see that when we're up top. But I had it so it was at the perfect height. I can't remember what the heights are. I'd have to go and look them up, maybe on a wiki or something. But I had it at the perfect height so that if a zombie pigman fell off of here, he would come down to the bottom and he would splat and die, just like all the rest of these guys just did. But ever since 113's come out, any of the zombie pigmen that fall off that little lip down here, they don't die when they land on the ground. And that's why I've only got, what is it, 3 or 4 of my iron golems. Oh, hello, kitten. That's one of my cats here. It's my big black cat, Bane. He's a beautiful boy, beautiful Persian, and he's meowing at me for something. I think he just wants attention, and I should probably do that. But here, I'm going to request another golem, because these golems are dying way too quickly, mainly because of the zombie pigmen. When they fall down, they don't die, so they can damage these iron golems, and I have to replace them more often than I had to before. Another thing that is, it just drives me crazy, absolutely crazy. I think I've mentioned in other episodes that I've built item elevators, or not item elevators, but people elevators. Elevators for me. Especially when it came to getting onto the roof of the Nether. Look at all this garbage I've left lying around. And I'm just going to go over here and hop into the Nether for a second and show you. Because to get onto the roof of the Nether, you know, this world is quite old. It's been around for a good number of years, 4.5 years, something like that. And I got so tired of building different elevator designs to get me onto the roof of the Nether that I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to go with something really simple. And I went with this design, which I believe is called a Slipgator Woolivator, after Slipgator and Woolly Mammoth. I think it's Woolly Mammoth, I'm not even sure. But they sort of, together they came up with this great idea where you can stand on the little pressure pad here, it'll dispense a cart, and then the cart just takes you all the way up to the top, and from the top the cart will fall down through the middle, and this is another way to get out, and it'll get picked up right here and put right back into the dispenser. So I was really surprised to find that when I tried to take this elevator up, it doesn't get me up there anymore. You see? And I think what's going on is there's something about the corners, because we make it up to right here, and if I take out these 2 glass bricks, maybe that one as well, that seems to be what does it. I'm going to take out this one and that one, and maybe on this next try the cart will get past us. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, guys. For whatever reason, if you have corners on your Slipgator Woolivator, you may have to remove them, because the cart does not make it past, and that's a real bummer, because I really thought this would be the last elevator I would ever have to make here. I thought for sure, it's minecarts. It's minecarts, and it will get us to the roof of the Nether and all the way up to our zombie pigman farm, which I have not shown off yet. I tried to do a video on it about a week ago, but sadly there was a bunch of noise out in the courtyard of my building, and the recording was just no good. There was just too much noise. So I'm going to have to go through here and take out all of these corners just to make sure that that minecart makes it all the way to the top. And even from here, I think maybe I can test it from here, because we're nearly to the roof of the Nether. Take out another couple of these, and let's just fall down here. Ooh, try not to take too much damage. Maybe I can take the ladder down. Well, that didn't work well, did it? Okay, eat some fish, because now we have cooked salmon. Let's just try this one more time and see how far up we get. Let's see whether it is the corners, because I think it's the corners. Yeah, it's the corners, guys. So if you have a slipgator, woolivator in your world, and you've got glass corners the way I do, well, these corners up here aren't stopping me. Very strange, very strange. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. I thought it was the corners. I still think it's the corners, but for whatever reason, now we get up here, and you'll see the minecart should. Well, I think we missed it, but the minecart will go down there, and here we are in my zombie pigman farm. Now that I'm here, I may as well just go up and try to activate it, because nobody's ever seen this. Nobody's ever seen my zombie pigman farm. Now this is my design. It's something I came up with quite a while ago. Now people are starting to do these sort of four killing chambers, because I found that worked a lot better than just a single killing chamber. Yeah. So I'm just going to shoot a pigman here, or miss a pigman. There, we got him. Okay. So you just kind of stand in the middle. This is all designed so that if you stand in the middle, all these zombie pigmen come forward. They jump down to little killing chambers. The killing chambers have got 25 minecarts. One of them has a hopper in it, and of course there's hopper chains down below to pick up all the goodies. And there you go. Just watch the XP roll in. It's pretty good for the most part. Now, I am not seeing the rest of the guys come. I found, for me, if I have my render distance, if I go in here into the video settings and I have the render distance set too small, that seems to affect whether this thing stops or not. Now I've cranked up the render distance. Let's see whether we can get it going again, because this should not stop. The whole idea is that it doesn't stop. And now we got some more guys coming. Let's see. This should work like a charm. This really should work like a charm. And I do believe that the render distance has something to do with whether this farm will stop. See, there we go. Now those guys are starting to come forward. I'm not exactly sure how the sort of beaconing or the squeal of a pigman that got hurt affects the other ones, but I can tell you with a fair degree of certainty that if you have your render distance set too small, you run the risk of this farm stopping, or a farm like this stopping. For me, this has been a really good farm, a really effective farm. I've tried to design it so that no big slime or medium slime, or even, not slime, but the magma cubes, sorry guys. I've tried to make it so that the magma cubes couldn't get me, although I do think that a small magma cube, the tiniest ones, might still be able to get over here and hop over this fence and then do damage, because magma cubes, even the small ones, can do damage to you. So I don't ever use this farm completely AFK. Are these guys going to get beaconed? Yeah, there they go. There they go. And I'm not moving, I'm not doing anything, I'm just looking around. But if you look down and you watch the XP bar, you can see that this is a real... Oh, there was a jockey that went in there. I heard the chicken die. Yeah, you can see that there's pretty much a constant stream of XP from here. And right now we're at level 149, which is a pretty high level. And we're still getting a good amount of XP. This is definitely one of the better farms. If you need to get a lot of XP, this is definitely one of the better farms. I think that the prismarine farms that I have, the OP or XP prismarine farm, no, we stopped again. We've stopped again. This is not working quite the same as it used to. We'll start her up. Yeah, things are a little different in this version of Minecraft, and I'm testing everything, trying to find out what's different, and just want to let you guys know. The one thing that I think I'm the first person that I know of, and I do watch a lot of people from Hermitcraft. I watch all the guys from the SciCraft server, because they're incredible redstoners. The SciCraft is probably some of the smartest guys that are out there. Although, I think that Tango Tech he's right up there with them. Tango Tech is a really bright guy. Does good videos too. He's got a lot of lilt to his voice. He can be a lot of fun. He's silly, and he also does programming. He's made some mods for Minecraft, which are pretty incredible. Really good Minecrafter. So I highly advise going out and watching people like that, because they can tell you what's going on. Although, as I say, I don't think I've noticed anybody mentioning the change to the hitbox and the hoppers and how that might might affect some of the things that you have in the world. Poor dead chicken. And I think everything's good here now with this. I think we're still getting our redstone. Yeah, we're still getting redstone. I was going to test the glowstone, wasn't I? But I didn't go down. I'm going to go do that now. I'm going to test to make sure that all the glowstone is coming through the way that it should. And I can do that pretty easily by just going into our little secret door here behind the walking man. And I'll put in the glowstone dust here. That means it's just going to start firing out the dispenser and heading towards the item elevator. And I changed the item elevator here. I used to have my own kind of custom flappy door solution. This door used to flap down. There was a pressure plate here, and there was a door that was right in here, a trap door right in here that would flap closed and make the items go up. So the way I converted this over was I just put a single water source in the bottom, and at the very top I put a single water source after digging out all of the glass in the middle. And that seems to work just great. So there's really only 2 buckets of water you need, one at the bottom and one at the top, and everything will flow up. Flowing water, water that flows down, does not impact the item elevator at all. Now we've got all of those bits of glowstone have gone already, so I better get upstairs pretty quickly if I want to see what's happening and just make sure that everything is working with the item sorter. Because, as I say, I had a lot of problems with the item sorters, guys. I had to just check everything because things weren't flowing through the hoppers. The hoppers were just kind of stuck, and they were not emptying, and I don't know what it was. Don't know what it was. I had to sort of empty out items. I broke the comparators and put them back down again. And are we good here? Where are we? This last one, I'm going to move those down just so I can see whether anything shows up there. And are these ones trap chests? No, these are not trap chests, so I can watch. I can watch when things are showing up in there. Okay, I'm going to have some more salmon because I'm starving again. Good to see that mushrooms are coming through. That means the mushroom farm is still working. The mushroom farm is water-based, and I was worried that it wouldn't be working properly. I'll have to go and check that because that's one thing I haven't really checked too seriously yet. And I may, in fact, have a bunch of mushrooms in there that aren't moving. I'll go check that in just a sec. I want to make sure that once these bits of glowstone get to the top, and I really like the slow animation of items rising up the elevator. That I like. I don't like the dirty color of the water, and maybe I can change the glass here to colored glass, just to kind of obscure that a bit. And there we go. You can see all of that glowstone going over the lip there. And it should be heading towards our chest. And we're in this one. Yeah, there we go. It's all coming back in now. So that's great. That has been fixed. I don't know whether... Let's just grab a couple of these. I'm not sure whether this is all working, because not every single one of these things was checked. 17, 22. Okay, that looks like it's working. And maybe I'll just convert those over to slime blocks here. Did I have I must have had exactly 9. Wow, that's surprising. And we put those guys over here because that's where I store these. This side of my base is just manual storage. I put everything in here manually, and this side of the base is automatic storage. Anything on that side is generated by the base and put into these chests all automatically, which is really nice. And I suppose that I could have another column here that would have beetroots, and maybe another column for beetroot seeds. But you know, I don't really need beetroot. I've got poppies for red dye, and I don't often make any of the sort of soups or things like that. If I want soup, I get mushroom soup from my little mushrooms out here. I've got a couple of mushrooms out here that I got a long time ago. Anyway, that's probably all I can show off for the moment, guys. There's not really a lot left to see, except for some salmon jumping out of the water here. That looks really funny. Look at them just flopping sideways. That's their little white underbelly. Very silly. I have this little thing set up here just to try to catch some drowns, because I'm looking forward to getting myself a trident, which has not happened yet. But one of these days I'll get a trident, and then I'll enchant it, and I'll have another nice weapon that I can use in Minecraft. You know, I've got really decent weapons here. I still have this very cheaty bow because it's got infinity and mending on it. It's an old bow. You can no longer put infinity and mending on bows. So I'm glad that I have this one. I hope I never lose it. Although I do believe I've got a couple more. I think I have a couple more stored away somewhere. Maybe in one of these chests, or maybe some of the old chests I had down here. Do I have them in here? Oh, no. No. I'm not sure where they are if I have them. Maybe I don't have them. Maybe I don't have backup bows. Oh, no. So I don't want to lose this bow, because it's a really good bow. It's very powerful. What have I got on it exactly? Flame, Power 5, Unbreaking, Mending, Punch 2, and Infinity. I'm not even sure that I can put anything else on there. Okay, guys, that's it. I got to get going here because my cat is going crazy, and I guess maybe he wants some food or some attention. So, thanks. We'll say goodbye while looking at the Cuphead-inspired munching the Room of Death. I don't even know what to call that. That's the old witch hut, and I'm going to change that soon because the triple extender bumper solution that I came up with, and I don't have any. Let's just before we go. I'm sorry. I know I'm saying I'm going, but. I'm going to come down here to my lovely Shulker Brewer. This is my latest copy of the Shulker Brewer. I think it's really nice. I really like this Shulker Brewer. It's got lights to tell me when ingredients are out or when the bays are not in use. This is only a 3-part potion, not a 5-part potion, and it works great. It's all fully automagic. Only a couple of caveats about how you use it, but those are all easy to kind of get by. Okay, there we go. Now we can see. We can see into our little Cuphead-inspired killing chamber. And the way that I eventually decided to... Oh, there's a villager. Ooh. Yeah. Because I didn't want Enderman taking off, I couldn't use a water-based solution. I couldn't use a flying solution because there was just too many ghost blocks. But ghost blocks have been taken care of in 1.13. I'm just going to shoot over here. Come and land over this way, and here's my little test that I have to see how a flying machine would work for being able to knock things off my little spawning platforms. So I may do that. I'm not sure whether that's really killing me. I've got a very bad MSTP or MSPT, milliseconds per tick. I'm up at about 40 around my base, and it should be well under 20. If you're above 10 milliseconds per tick, your world is slow. And this world is definitely slow. I can show you that with this. This world is slow here, but if I am looking away from all of my item frames, I get a much smoother sort of FPS. I get a much better FPS, but the MSPT doesn't really change much. And if you're looking back over here towards all of those item frames that I have, you can see item frames, they definitely affect it. And the big spikes you're getting there is when my little bumper solution, the triple piston extender bumper solution for, oh wow, look at that. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And if I stand here and just kind of watch, you can see we've got a couple of witches in there. And as soon as the bumpers go off, we get a pretty big spike in lag, and the FPS kind of goes way down. There you go. That's a pretty bad spike. But if you look over this way, things speed up quite a bit. So it's definitely all of these item frames. I've got a lot of items inside frames, and maybe if I switch those over to signs, I would have a better time. I might try doing that because we're getting a pretty bad FPS around the base lately. Anyway, guys, that's it. There's a couple of the issues that I've found. I hope that your worlds are still working. I know that I haven't checked absolutely everything in this world, but I'm going to have to fix my my smelter. I'm going to have to fix a number of things. But that's it, guys. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying the series here. I know I haven't been putting out videos as often as I should, but I'm going to keep on trying because I want to. I want to do some little Minecraft videos and have fun doing this. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.